The strategic situation be December 1915. The First World War had already lasted far longer than either side had expected. Both the Allied and Central Powers had promised their populations that the war would be over by Christmas. Yet the Western Front had become trapped in a brutal stalemate. A vast network of trenches stretched across the countryside, running from the North Sea toward the Mediterranean. Millions of soldiers faced one another across the battlefield, while both sides searched desperately for a way to break the deadlock. For Germany and its Austro-Hungarian and Ottoman allies, the situation was complicated by the continuing war against Imperial Russia on the Eastern Front. Earlier in 1915, Germany and its allies had launched a major offensive against the Russians. Russian forces were driven out of much of modern-day Poland and pushed deep into their own territory. Although the advance was eventually halted, German and Austro-Hungarian forces had penetrated more than 100 kilometers into Russia. As 1915 drew to a close, the German chief of the Great General Staff, General Erich von Falkenhayn, began reassessing Germany's strategic position. Although the fighting in the East had not produced a complete victory, Falkenhayn believed Germany had achieved its most important objective there, securing its eastern borders against the forces of Tsar Nicholas II. He also believed that Russia was approaching political collapse. Revolutionary sentiment had been growing, fueled in part by the Russian army's repeated failures. Falkenhayn expected that Russia might effectively remove itself from the war during the following year as internal conflict intensified. If that happened, Germany would only need to maintain a defensive force in the east while transferring the majority of its available troops back to the Western Front. In Falkenhayn's view, the decisive struggle would ultimately take place in the west,